So I'll start now. Okay. Good morning, good afternoon everyone. I would like to start this presentation by asking all of you a question. Can I have a show of hands? How many of you here know what this is or have eaten this before? Thank you for your response. You will put your hands down. Well, this is an ice cream sandwich, a unique dessert found in Singapore. And it relates to the topic that my team and I will be talking about today, which is the aging population and the elderly in Singapore. You may be wondering, how is ice cream related to this topic? Well, the ice cream sandwiches are usually sold out of carts and motorcycle sidecars. And who operates them? These elderly uncles and aunties. Mr. Chan in this picture here is one of them. Now, I would like to invite all of you to close your eyes and think. Have you ever given thought to all these elderly uncles and aunties who operate their businesses under the hot sun? Next, on your way to school today, who was the person driving the bus? Was it an elderly uncle? And do you see any elderly aunties cleaning the NUS compound? Thank you. You may now open your eyes. Were these some of the images that popped up in your mind? Well, you can see that these elderly uncles and aunties are cleaning up our spaces, and they can be seen being isolated from society as well. The situation that they are in is dire, and it is important that we play a part to help solve this issue. The declining old age support ratio is also proof that we should all be doing something to solve this issue, as there's a decreasing number of youths who are supporting an individual elderly. Beyond the photos that you've seen, here are some common problems faced by the elderly. And my teammates will be speaking more about the financial and emotional issues later. So you may be wondering, why should we take action? First, the sheer number of elderly in our society who are in dire situations make it important for us to take action. Secondly, in taking action, we help to cultivate citizens who are of good nature, and we help to inculcate values in the younger generation, such as filial piety. Next, we can also preempt the future generations about the problems they may face in the future and the necessary precautions that they can take. Last but not least, the seniors still have much to contribute, and a little support from us helps them lead much better lives. I'll now be speaking on the importance of your role in solving this social issue. First, you are the generation who can shape society largely. Second, you have the ability to vote, which means you have a voice in these formal policies that can help make a change. Last but not least, you have the ability to volunteer, and you can be the bridge between the younger generations and older generations. I've given you an overview about this social issue in Singapore, and we can all play a part to be more compassionate starting today. First, we can be more understanding of the elderly in our society. Second, we can all volunteer, and you can do so by coming onto our website at People's Association under the Active Aging Committee. Last but not least, you can help to influence the people around you to make a difference too, like what my team and I are doing today. A little support goes a long way, so let us all start today and help to solve this social issue. I'll now invite Lindsay up to share more about the financial issues faced by the elderly. Thank you.
Thank you, Jia Hui, for the overview. So for me, I'm going to touch on the finances in retirement faced by the elderly in Singapore. In a more Singlish term, money, no enough. So, do you believe that we have enough money for retirement? Well, if you believe in ranking, we certainly do. We are ranked second internationally when it comes to finances in retirement. This means, in terms of compared to other countries in the world, we are better prepared in retirement. But is this really true? In order to answer that question, we need to know how much do we need to retire. So let's imagine you are a 62-year-old, reaching your retirement age, and the only saving tool you have is CPF. You are expected to spend about 2.3K of money per month, according to Singapore statistics. That means you need to have 440K in your CPF by the time of your retirement. And that's assuming a full 30 years of working and a full 35% of contribution rate. I know we have a lot of econ students here. This is exactly an economic model. So maybe you can answer me, what is your expected income per month in order to reach that amount in your CPF? Just show any number.
Per month, is it?
Per month, yes.
About 5,000.
5,000. Is that true? Let's see. It's 7.7K. Can you imagine as a fresh grad getting that amount of salary per month? Well, I can't. And that is why, according to the CPF statistics, The average monthly withdrawal is 1.75K, and that is a shortfall of $550 per month or $6,600 per year. Now you understand why elderlies have an issue when it comes to finance and retirement. So, do we really have money to retire? I would say maybe not. But you, being an audience here, you can make a change. What can you do? I'm going to propose two ways today. Firstly is regarding the CPF policies. Another is about the subsidies the government can offer. When it comes to CPF policies, there have been voices going on talking about policy changes. You, as someone who's able to vote, able to make your voice heard in the parliament, you can actually make a vote count by supporting this policy change. The idea of this policy change is actually quite simple. Basically, you are just increasing the CPF contribution rate when it comes to old age. And as a simple economic sense, you have larger savings in your CPF by the time of your full retirement. However, some people are arguing, higher contribution rate doesn't that mean lowering the employment rate? After all, when the policy is first introduced, it was meant to support the elders' employment. But time has changed. The tighter labor law and highly skilled labor today increase the willingness of our employers to retain older workers. Volunteer with an impact. There are various policies available by the government. However, due to the various documents that's needed to submit, elders usually find it very troublesome to apply for those policies. And you can really help them by being the bridge between the policies and the elders. So let you be the reason for their smiles. But you know what they say? Money itself doesn't bring happiness. Next, my groupmate Sammy will share with you some of the emotional supports that the elders need. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. Very good afternoon to all of you. I am Sammy, and today I'll be focusing specifically on the issue of mental wellness of the elderly. So based on a case study in Singapore regarding the elderly, so it was found that there are 3 discrete categories that affect the mental wellness of the elderly. So due to time constraints, I will only be covering social networks and physical challenges. So firstly, the strength of social networks was found to be the biggest determinant of mental wellness of the elderly. And in the context of Singapore, the satisfaction with relationships with children and grandchildren plays an important role in the mental wellness of the elderly. So this indicates that the people around the elderly actually affect their mental wellness directly. And secondly, for physical challenges, in the study it was found that 2 ways affect mental wellness levels of the elderly. So firstly is when they feel like they cannot participate in valued activities, and secondly is when they feel like they are a burden to their family. So you can see from the quotes, there are the examples that are given in the study, and from the first respondent, she indicated that she used to be very active, and because of her physical constraints, she was no longer as active, and this impacted her emotionally and physically. So what does this actually lead to? What does poor mental wellness lead to? In case you guys are not sure, in Singapore, there are headlines where number of elderly suicides are at an all-time high in 2017, and more elderly are taking their own lives, and more elderly are also facing depression now. So before I move on to my next point, I would like you to focus your attention on